Hey guys! I came across a tragic and suspicious news story the other day, and I thought I would share it with you all. After looking at a few articles, my mind went down the conspiracy theory path, and I decided to share my thoughts. Keep in mind that my theories are pure speculation, and everything I say is all alleged. Also, this story is pretty sad, so I would not recommend watching this if you're in a bad headspace right now. Let's get started. An 8-year-old girl, her mother, and her grandfather drowned in their new home swimming pool. Now I'm going to play a news clip for you guys so you can get the full story.
Tragic discovery Monday in New Jersey. 3 people, including a child, found dead in a backyard pool.
And there's now fears that the victims may have been electrocuted. CBS News' Jessica Layton has more from East Brunswick.
A man clearly overcome with pain and emotion is consoled outside a home on Clearview Road in East Brunswick. A home that was surrounded by police, ambulances, and new neighbors late into the evening Monday.
It's just terrible.
Chopper 2 shows the large above-ground swimming pool in the backyard where 3 people were found dead. A 62-year-old man, an 8-year-old girl, and her 32-year-old mom.
A neighbor heard screaming and dialed 911. All the deceased were taken out of the pool. CPR was done, and they were pronounced in the backyard.
But how they all died remains a mystery. Early word on the street was the members of this family neighbors were just getting to know somehow drowned.
It's above ground, it's not in ground. So I don't know how this happened.
3 people drowning in a pool seems very unusual.
But then an electrician showed up, raising more questions that the 3 were electrocuted.
The fact that they had an electrician's truck show up shortly thereafter, I mean, it wouldn't make sense that 3 people would just drown right away like that, if you got an adult there too.
No matter what, it's a tragedy that is felt deeply in this quiet neighborhood, now full of curiosity and concern for how this could happen.
Definitely a horrible incident.
There's no words for that family. It's very sad.
So the question remains, why was that electrician here last night for so many hours after this incident? We reached out to the county prosecutor's office to try to get some answers. So far, we've not heard back. We're in East Brunswick, New Jersey. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
So, like I said, this story is pretty tragic. Usually whenever I watch something like this, I scroll down to the comments to see what others are saying. And a lot of people were speculating that the family got electrocuted somehow. Anthony says,
anytime you hear of a mass drowning in a pool, the first thought is accidental electrocution from equipment malfunction, not murder.
Jim says,
no way they drowned. Yep, they were electrocuted. House was sold and pool wasn't safe.
Tiger says,
my husband is a retired master electrician, he says, electrocuted.
There's also some chick named Lisa who just goes straight into Psalms 57 for some fucking reason. Now, let's take a look at some comments that were made by people who don't necessarily believe that this family was electrocuted. Tracy says,
doesn't sound like a drowning, sounds more like a homicide.
Jennifer says,
above ground pool? Something is fishy about this, it's terrible that 3 lives were lost.
Asia says,
I promise you, there is no way all 3 of them drowned in a pool that shallow. No way. Something foul happened.
So, I think both sides make valid points. But I'm leaning towards something a little more sketchy happened. Why? Well,
3 family members who drowned in backyard pool did not know how to swim, police say. None of the 3 family members who drowned Monday in a pool in the backyard of their East Brunswick home knew how to swim in what has been classified as a tragic accident, authorities said. Investigators revealed earlier that electricity was not a factor in the deaths of an 8-year-old girl, her mother, Nisha Patel, 33, and her paternal grandfather, Bharat Patel, 62. According to a joint statement from the East Brunswick Police and the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office. The above-ground pool was mostly shallow at 3.5 feet deep, but there was a portion of the pool that was 7 feet deep and it doesn't appear that the victims knew how to swim, the office said. The East Brunswick police were called to the home located at 43 Clearview Road at 4:18 p.m. and found the 3 family members unresponsive in the pool, police said. They were pronounced dead shortly after being found. The Middlesex County Regional Medical Examiner's Office determined the manner of death as accidental and the cause of death to be drowning for all three. The Patels moved into their home within the past month, a neighbor told NJ Advance Media. A pool company had recently been to the home to open it up for the season.
So, you're telling me that this family hired a company to come out and open up their pool, and not one of them knew how to swim? I mean, just ask yourself, if you didn't know how to swim, would you really go out of your way to hire someone to come open up your pool? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they had every intention of taking swim classes this year. But that doesn't explain how they all ended up in the pool in the first place. Now, I came across a TikTok that just goes straight down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. I'll play it for you here.
Don't you think that if Bharat Patel was only 5'3", he could still grab the ledge of a 7-foot pool? But listen to this.
But it was a next-door neighbor who heard the mother outside screaming for help, so she called 911. And when police arrived, they came to find 2 adults and that child dead.
So who is Nisha Patel? Well, according to the ACF, Nisha was a program officer where she managed $40 million for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah, that's a little weird, nothing too concerning, but what about Bharat? Bharat Patel is where it gets really interesting. Follow me. Found Bharat Patel's LinkedIn profile. There's actually 2 of them, and they contain some pretty revealing information. However, in just the last 2 days, both of his profiles have been scrubbed from LinkedIn. Good thing I got screenshots. So here's Bharat's first profile. He says he works at NextGen MD, lives in East Brunswick, New Jersey, which is where the family was found dead, and this is all of his experience. Most noteworthy is his 8 years of experience as the CEO of NextGen. Here's his other profile, CEO at NextGen MD, Health Incorporated. And look who he's interested in. Here's what you get when you search NextGen with Bill Gates. A clean energy initiative that involves some pretty important people. One of those being Tom Steyer. Remember in my last video when CNN said you're not allowed to read the Podesta emails? If you're informed on this kind of thing, here's John Podesta and Tom Steyer talking about walnut sauce. Oh, and we are not done. Follow me, 2.3. Okay, so we know that Bharat and Nisha were involved with Bill Gates. But who is it that's notorious for killing off their enemies if they even think about exposing them? The click in your seatbelts, because this shit gets kind of crazy. So if we look back at Bharat Patel's LinkedIn profile, we can see that he's had 19 years of volunteer experience at Ekal Vidyala. Ekal Vidyala is a school for children, specifically foreign children. Of course it is. If you type in Ekal Vidyala Clintons, then you'll find the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation's goal is to build 1,000 primary schools in rural Indian communities throughout partnerships with Ekal Vidyala Foundation. The schools will be one-teacher non-formal education centers. They've been working with this organization since 2001. Guess who else has volunteered for Vidyala since 2001? If you've done even the slightest bit of research into child trafficking around the world and the United States, then you'll see why the Patel family being linked to a school for foreign children that is directly in partnership with the Clintons will really make you question their death.
After watching that, my mind was blown. But I was brought back down to reality when I went to Reddit and saw all of this.
Looked into it. Wrong Patel. Remember, Patel is a really common last name for Indian immigrants. Patels own a lot of motels and 7-Elevens in the United States, and Nisha is also a common first name for Indians. She also goes by Nisha G. Patel and doesn't live in New Jersey. She works in Washington, D.C. most of the time, I believe. I know I'm a day late, but this was just posted less than an hour ago. Fact check, the Nisha Patel once employed by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation did not drown in a New Jersey pool. The Nisha Patel who once worked for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is alive and well, she wrote in an email to Lee Stories.
Even though it's been debunked that the Nisha Patel who died did not work for Bill Gates, I still found this story to be incredibly strange. It's entirely possible that all of this truly was an accident. I just find it odd that none of them knew how to swim yet hired a company to come out and open up their pool. I don't know, it's weird all around. Whether this was an accident or murder, it's still incredibly unfortunate for the remaining family members who lost 3 loved ones. Hopefully they can find peace in this difficult time. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.